What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Girls Aloud. And as always, I'd like to give a big shout out to Flemish Giant, not only for sharing the Girls Aloud material, but for commenting in very informative and insightful ways over on my Patreon, specifically on the video reactions, but a lot of things I do over there as well, so you are very much appreciated. And this folder, I think, has 2 bonus tunes going off of the master release on Discogs. So yes, I think there is a bit of a bonus contingent to the remaining tracks in the folder. In any case, the next tune on the proper album is Real Life, which speaks to authenticity and in a way implicitly contrast with fantasy, with simulation, with other forms of life that are not real, perhaps, vicarious life, or life that is theoretical or hypothetical but not actual. So in that regard, I wonder whether this will speak to real life being difficult, challenging, and not always as we are told it will be, or not as it is in stories where things seem to happen perfectly. Now, of course, stories can be tragic or they can feature unhappy endings, but yeah, I would expect on some level this to relate to a distinction between either concepts or life trajectories that are idealized and those which in practice are more nuanced, complicated, or indeed difficult. So let's see what it actually is in practice. This is Girls Aloud, the track is Real Life, and it's from their 2004 album What Will the Neighbours Say?
'Cause baby, this is real life. You wanna get your mind on your occupation. The moment's got to feel right. 'Cause honey, if it don't, then get out the station. 'Cause baby, this is real life. You wanna get your mind on your occupation. The moment's got to feel right. 'Cause honey, if it don't, then get out the station. You gotta get it, you gotta get it. And pretty soon you find the figures fit. You gotta get it, you gotta get it. And find your groove before the others strip. Started with a look, and pretty soon it was a Valentine. And when the whole earth shook, I passed him over to a friend of mine. He started as a squeeze, but pretty soon he was a tourniquet. I'll take my life back, please. I liked it better with the time we played. I think I'm falling. I'm not done crawling.
Compositionally, I knew that ending was coming in that fashion. And yeah, sonically, I enjoyed that. It's got energy, it's danceable, but it doesn't sound overly electronic. It's like, a natural guitar. There are some, like that rising, almost organ-like keyboard riff. So yeah, it's a mixture of like natural instrument and electronic sounds. But ultimately, yeah, it's very energetic. It has a brightness to it. It's a fun tune sonically. Lyrically, it's interesting because it feels like a mixture of a narrative discussed in the present about past situations, but it's equal parts like declaration about the way things are and normative prescription to anyone else who would be listening and who would heed the advice of the narrator. And the essence of that prescription and normative suggestion seems to be, one, be realistic about things, two, carpe diem, like don't let things go longer than they should, make decisive choices and do so in your own best interest, because if you let other people's misdirection or indeed outright dishonesty lead you to stick around or to wait for something that's never coming or to find yourself in a submissive situation where you've lost your balance or your control over life, then you'll regret it. And this is real life. You don't get a second chance. Opportunity comes knocking and you're not there to open the door, or you're not there to, what was it, like get your number while it's going up. I forgot exactly what the phrasing was, but yeah, it seems to be like, I believed someone when they weren't telling me quite the truth. I found myself, sort of struggling to get by and so on. And it's better to live your life than to just merely hang on and survive. And so with my example as a template, or not as a template, but as a warning or as a cautionary tale, you should make these kind of choices. You should be realistic about things, and you should seize opportunity when it comes your way. Because again, we only get one shot at this. This is real life. So maybe I'm misreading that, but again, it sounds like she's saying, I went through these things. You should try to avoid that if you can, and here's the lessons I've learned and that I'm now telling anyone who's willing to listen. But yeah, I enjoyed, there was I forget what the line was, but there was a line, I don't know if it was the chorus itself or like a pre-chorus, but where she would really sort of flourish and hit it with a bit more like vocal intensity, and I especially loved that moment as it came around a couple times. I also liked that rising keyboard motif, that was great. And yeah, it just had a bit of this like folksy, I want to say almost like, I don't know, like Brazilian music kind of energy. I think it was just like the guitar line, but it definitely like gave me like not so much like, kick drum, dance floor like vibes in an electronic sense, but like a danceable vibe, but with a like pop folk sort of styling. So yeah, like it was very compelling sonically. I enjoyed trying to follow what seemed like two-tiered lyrics, like, and they were interspersed. They'd be like, here's a little snippet about what happened to me, here's what I think you should do, here's another little snippet about what happened to me. And I think there was even some lines where she was addressing the other person who, was not treating her in a way that was conducive to her own happiness or the trajectory that she would have preferred. But then it's like she switches back into these broader statements about what life is and what you should be doing with it. So yeah, a really fun one. I enjoyed it. As I said, I think there's 2 more regular tunes from the proper album. Here We Go and Thank Me Daddy, which is an interesting one. And then I Say a Prayer for You, which, okay, I'm guessing that's a cover. And then 100 Different Ways, which is the final track in the folder here. So as I said, shout out to Flemish Giant. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.